Hey, what's up world? It's Rise in Ottawa, Canada. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm back on the road again, driving to pick up another amazing artist. This time it's Raoul from the MoonRunners, Toronto. Amazing futuristic crew, and they got lots of different dancers. They've been around for a long time. Some amazing b-boys, but also some poppers and house dancers. So we're gonna get into his art. We're gonna get into his journey as a dancer, and hope to get deep also into how he sees dance as a means to do a little bit of social work in his community around him. So the MoonRunners is a pretty cool crew, and there was a point there, I think, where a bunch of them were living in the same house together, all of them. So I mean, hoping to get into some of that as well. And real little Shaolin monks all living in the temple and seshing out all day every day. So it's gonna be a fun interview, and it's a beautiful day today. He's gonna be teaching our class right after at the Flavor Factory, so it's gonna be a packed day. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. So Raoul, welcome.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, nice to have you here.
You too, man.
Thank you for making the trip.
Thank you for having me.
Coming down. It's my pleasure. So we met a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You came down and I think you were judging, or were you just battling in one of the battles?
I was just battling. I just came down. It was actually my birthday.
That's right.
I was coming down just to battle, yeah.
And you came down for it was the Jack of all styles that we threw with the Flavor Factory. And it's now in a different place completely. So it's a totally different studio. So you're going to be surprised with that. But you came down, you battled, and then after that, you stayed a couple days after, and you ended up coming to our session after, which was really dope. So we got to exchange a little bit of the dance. And so let's just get into a little bit about, how you got started. You grew up in Zimbabwe, is that right?
Yes, I did.
Until the age of 16 or so?
16, yes.
Cool. And then you moved to Toronto?
Yes, I moved to Toronto.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind my asking, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
27. So you've been there for 11 years?
Yeah.
So you're full on Canadian?
Yeah. Citizenship, I'm ready.
Yeah. Do you ever go back?
I went back last year, yeah.
Okay. What was that like?
Oh man, life changer. Like when you see things as an older person, it's a way different perspective. Because when I'm young, I'm just growing around things. When I'm old, I'm taking in things. A whole different perspective, you know what I mean?
And did you see that Zimbabwe changed a lot in the last little while? Or?
It changed a lot as I grew more to understand that even though they struggled, they remained together. To me, I didn't notice that before because I was in my own bubble, in my own place. Then when I went there, I was like, oh my God, families together every weekend. Even though they're struggling, they're happy. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. You know what I mean? I didn't realize the struggle because I didn't go through the struggle. I was young, I was growing up. My father was going through the struggle, but I wasn't. You know what I mean?
And so you see your cousins and peers and people that you knew?
Oh, my cousins. I have stepsisters that I finally met. Okay. That my father had left back home. I was like, oh man, I finally got connected with them. And they were so inspired by me. They started dancing. What? So they were always sending me clips of dancing. I was like, man.
What kind of dance?
They were doing a mix of footwork, but more African.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So are there any underground, like what's the underground stuff that's going on right there right now?
At home? Yeah. Everybody's just pure underground. Like we just go out, we party, we dance together. It's more of a sharing experience than anything else. Cool. But I think now that everything's becoming more popularized, there's more classes and stuff in terms of that sense.
Any traditional dance there? That
there's a couple. Like if you go South Africa to Soweto, there's Pansula.
Yeah, for sure.
We do Kwasa Kwasa as well. Okay. And there's a lot more of that range, yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
nice. Man. In terms of the dance that you've been doing, obviously when you were starting up, you were mentioning there wasn't a lot in terms of movies and things like that you saw. So what was the first, your first connection to urban dance or street dance? Like what did you see?
Well, when I was growing up, the only thing I knew of was Pansula, and we were just sharing and stuff, and then I watched this movie. It came on. It was You Got Served. Yeah. And as corny as it sounds, that movie changed everything for me. You know what I mean? And I was laying on my bed, like me and my brother. My brother used to be a dancer too. Okay. We're both laying on the bed, and I seen this guy do it was windmills. Oh, yeah. And I was on my bed trying to kick him down, and I had the fakest windmills for a long time, but they were ill. Like I was going around. And then I found out my cousin was a b-boy from South Africa, and he was ill. Okay. And he was doing swipes, he was doing flares, and I was like, man. I was just learning a bit of it, but I was still more just chill about it. I only got more active in b-boying when I got here because I got trained under J Rebel, Supernatural's crew. Okay. Yeah, he helped me a lot throughout high school. And how did you link up with the MoonRunners? Oh, we were I was going through a rough phase, man. Right. It was a tough time in my life, and I wasn't financially stable as I am now. So I went to go to this rec center, and Shaw and I had met up from Sweet Thing and Dance.
Okay.
And this is back in the day when my life was changing because I went from a bad place and I was slowly changing to be better.
Okay.
So I had met Shaw at Sweet Thing and Dance, and we both forgot our passports.
Okay.
So we both had like something to talk about. And we're like, oh man, you forgot? Okay, what? And we became friends, you know? Because in the beginning I was talking to somebody else, but then Shaw became my friend. He introduced me to this rec center. They would feed us, give us bus tickets, and it would be just one speaker.
Okay.
Crump is in the room.
Okay.
B-boys in the room. Papa's in the room.
And you guys would all get down together.
I did crumping, popping, b-boying at the same time.
Yeah.
There was really, I wasn't stuck to a style. I was just learning.
That's cool.
I was just doing.
I mean, and how do you see that in the dance? Because I mean, a lot of people are very much purists about their one style, and you know, whereas I feel like you and the whole MoonRunners crew, I think you guys are very open-minded. And when I watch you dance, there's a lot of different influences coming in there. You know, like from tutting. I saw the video that you have with. Oh, you got a tutting video that you guys did, right?
Yeah, with Icy, yeah.
Yeah. So that one, like, I mean, yeah, you guys seem to have a very open-minded approach to dance. How do you feel about that? And what?
I find for sure we do have an open-minded approach, and the reason being is a lot of dance relates to each other. It comes from somewhere. Everything comes from the same place. You know what I mean? So we could say it comes from Africa. It could come further, before that even. You know what I mean? We don't really know, but it comes from somewhere. And the influence, it's all together. To me, it's a unit. The influence is a unit. It's just the way they talk or conversate, their dance, their story is different. But you could use that influence and switch it to your conversation.
Yeah.
And use that as an influence. Instead of as a style, use it as an influence. How can it change your movement but still being true to what you're doing? You know what I mean? So that's why I look at it.
So what does that mean, being true to what you're doing? Because I mean, this is something I've been getting into more and more with different dancers, talking about what does it mean to be genuine. You know, like where is this stuff coming from? You said it comes from somewhere. Like it's obviously this human impulse to move, right?
Yeah.
Like, so where does it come from for you?
To me, it's like yesterday when I had put my iPod on and I was playing a song, man. It was deep inside, man. I felt like the song was made. I picked one song for the showcase. I was like, nah, man. This song hit me like in my soul. I just had to I was moving sideways for a second. I was like, this is internal.
Yeah,
I want the song internal. I didn't even listen to the rest of it. I was just like, as soon as it hit me, I was like, that's the song.
It's a visceral connection.
Flow on it.
You just know it.
It's
right?
just deep. It's deeper than that. You know what I mean? It's deeper than me trying to be a popularity guy. It's just connecting better with the music, how the music makes me feel beyond the dance, so that I don't have to dance. I just have to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Allow yourself to move.
Exactly. Yeah. I think of it like flowing, That's the best way to describe it.
Did you dance when you were a kid? Like when you were younger, growing up?
I did. Yeah. I actually danced a lot, and I used to try to be like Michael Jackson.
Okay.
But as a kid, I was probably one of the worst dancers.
Really? Yeah?
And worst dancers is I could never my feet were always left.
Okay.
I had 2 left feet.
You're clumsy.
My sister was really good.
Really?
And she would always come up, and I'd be like, man, I can't be like this. I gotta be better.
So you're talking in general, during the day, you guys were playing and stuff, and music come on, you guys would just start dancing?
we just start breaking it down.
Okay.
Start breaking it
down.
down.
Any functions or parties and stuff like that where people used to dance?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every weekend there's always a function.
Yeah.
And we always just getting down.
Nice.
But like I said, it was more of a social atmosphere, so it wasn't okay, I'm gonna take it out there to learn.
Yeah.
We were learning as we're dancing, because we're just understanding our dance better without, you know what I'm saying, okay, what's this move called? What's that move called? We were just doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Older people dancing too at these parties?
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Older people can break it down,
that's
man.
What's up.
They'll kill you off. You have no chance.
Yeah, no, I find in the places that I've been in the developing world, whatever you want to call it, less developed than this, and I find the dancers, the older dancers, they've been doing it since they were kids,
crazy.
And there's some amazing I love watching the older dancers, man. I love it, We were in British Virgin Islands, and we went to this community party there, and it was oh man, some of the dancers, you could just, the movement is refined over all those years,
man. It's just it's natural to them. It's like
Beautiful.
they don't even try.
Yeah, man. They're
That's
just listening to the music, and they're
Yeah.
actually just getting down to the music,
Yeah.
So it's crazy. In North America, I mean, we have this concept of, kids listen to music. I was talking about this with a DJ the other day, and, a lot of people after 18, they kind of stop listening to music. They stop, and they stay stuck in that, whatever they're listening to, and it's not really a part of their life. So, but, that's kind of sad to me.
It is very sad.
I can't imagine my life without music and dance,
Oh, man. Worst.
Don't even want to go there,
Yeah.
Cool, man. So growing up, what about the traditional dances? Did you ever, was there any classes or anything like that? Did you ever, when's the first dance class that you ever took?
Oh man, I actually never took a class till I got here.
Yeah.
Till I got here, because to me it was more about sharing than taking classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't on the aspect of, okay, I'm gonna take this further.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, I'm gonna help my family as much as I can, and I'm gonna share with the rest of the guys that dance as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was, basically, you know.
And then when you got here,
yeah,
you were saying you went through like a sort of a rough patch,
mm-hmm.
and dance kind of was an outlet for you at that point.
Big,
right?
big.
So,
like if you've seen me before to now, it's like the biggest change, man.
in
like,
what way?
Like I went from like everything bad, you know what I mean, to being this as a better output. And you could see, like, I have pictures from me when I'm younger, big baggy pants, 6XL shirts, and you can see the slow phase even to where I try to wear skinny jeans, but they weren't skinny jeans, but it's still a phase. And I kept passing, you know. It's just me trying to understand myself a little bit better. And I came from a different place, so when I got here, it's a whole new understanding. There's so many things happening. I'm like, oh my God, you can be popular doing this. Oh my God, you can do this, and then oh my God, what's this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's only till later on where you can stop, take things in. That's what I always say. When you're older, you can stop and take things in and understand things instead of just.
It keeps going, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
41 and it just keeps going.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, though.
Yeah, it is the beauty.
Yeah.
You just every day a little bit, a little bit
little
more,
bit
a little bit
changes.
more, and it
Yeah.
just adds and adds and gives you a different perspective. You know?
Yeah, man. That's
beautiful.
the beauty of dance, beauty of life.
Yeah, man.
Not just dance.
Yeah, and that's right. And so, in terms of that, like, you know, when you're learning to dance, and let's say this progression that you've lived through and of your artistry, really, you know,
Okay.
Do you see that it relates to how you change your life as well? Like, is the dance parallel to the life? Is it just part of it, or are they different things, or are they really the same thing? You know, are they just manifestations of the same thing as well?
To me, it does affect your life in a big way possible, to be honest. Because when I was younger, like at least 23, 24, I used to watch a lot of battlers, and they were doing like some cool tricks, and I was like, I'm that guy, I could do that stuff, you know. So I fully trained years into that, you know what I mean. And I was like, yo, it's starting to make me feel cocky, and I feel like I'm better than everybody else. And then later on, as I started watching like Khalif a little bit more, and then understanding, you know, Ejo and a couple of guys that move their chest and their legs and they just connected better, I was like, man, I started to humble myself, and I was like, it's more about sharing and the conversation of the dance than the who's better than who.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? We all have different influence. His influence, in my mind, shouldn't think he's better than me. It should be like he understands it different than I do. We both have a different understanding, but we both speak in the same language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
for
basically
sure.
how I see it now.
Yeah, and I mean that's really like house to me is a very different form from hip hop in terms of that aspect. Although I do find that the younger generation of hip hop dancers now are more they have more of a house attitude to it.
Yeah.
Like it's less about that cocky battle.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time there it was pretty bad.
I'm real hip hop. You are not.
Yeah. No, and just the clash, you know, and I mean that's also where the art form grew out of, right? Like I mean, you got to understand, like, you know, when hip hop started, it was really it was gangs, and it was an outlet for that aggression, you know, putting it in a different way from other than gang violence, right? So I mean, understand where it came from. You know, to me, house evolved really at the same time as hip hop, and it was always this other thing. And you know, I've been blessed to go and train with Bravo in New York.
Bravo's a cool dude.
He's
I
so
like
cool,
Bravo.
and I mean, we stayed with him a few times, and you know, we just got. You know, he blasted us with history for the whole time that we were there, and it was really interesting to hear his perspective because he saw hip hop happen. Like he watched it.
Grew up through it.
You know, he was dancing before, and then when hip hop started.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he told me this story that you know, he'd heard about these b-boys, and everyone was talking about these b-boys. You know, and he went to Queens to this friend of his who's his sis. He was friends with a girl, and her brother was a b-boy. I forget what the name of the cat was, but basically he went over there and like got her to put a record on, and it was like his break that he liked, and he waited for the break to come up, and when the break came in, he tore into the room, and he just jumped in, he started b-boy, he did a backflip off a chair, and then he was boom, and then he was out, you know, and Bravo was like this, and he was like, tell him to do it again. And he's like, play my record again. And so she like put the record on, and he waited till the break came on, and then he tore in again. And Bravo was just like he'd never seen anything like it, you know. And he'd been winning dance contests and stuff before. Like he was a real dancer, but he had just never seen this type of an expression of it, you know. But I think every generation has things like that. Like we were talking about turfing on the way over, and how, you know, there's these little pockets in different cities where all these different influences come together, and then that youthful creativity kind of creates something new out of it, and then who knows what it's going to spawn later on in life, right?
Ridiculous.
And I mean, if you're talking about like old history, like imagine this has been happening for thousands of years probably with dancers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine 2,000 years ago, I'm sure there was like some kids that were doing some crazy shit. You know, so
oh man, that's the beauty.
Yeah, it is. And so that's cool though. You mentioned Khalif as well, also one of our teachers that we've trained with as well. I mean, these guys in New York, like to me the vibe was so beautiful because it was really all about the sharing, and you know, there was a lot of different influences that came into the clubs together. It was a multicultural thing. It was also gay and straight together in these clubs, and it was less of that vibe of the conflict and more like Brian Greene always says it's like showcasing your skills to God type thing. You know, Amazing. It's like a celebration of you know, and just you know, so like for you, is that really a house thing, or is that something that you experience in hip hop as well? For showcasing as opposed to the battle, you know, like you know how the intention behind the dance, like if you look at some battles, the guys are out to get each other, you know. For sure. But then there's other battles where it's still, you know, like you're talking about going to summer dance for. I mean, I watch all those videos, you know, and a lot of the battles, I mean, they could be just a session, you know, like it's not necessarily a battle per se, more like a showcase type thing, you know. So how do you see that?
To me, the term battle. It's such a crazy term because then it forces your mind to think a different way. So how you connect into the music when your mind is thinking a different perspective now? Because when you think battle, you think attack. Attack. That's what battle means. You know what I mean? Kind of sense. And then I would say sharing is better. So I'm not too sure about your question. Can you just read
basically it's just kind of an open-ended question, but how, you know, like the battle itself versus the exchange, you know, and you see that happening in hip hop as well, or do you think that it's really you know, like a b-boy battle is a b-boy battle, house is not necessarily a battle, like how do you see it, you know?
To me everything is a battle, but it's a battle of conversation. Who speaks better, who understands the music better, that's what a real battle to me is. It shouldn't be like who can throw hands at a face more, who can like do tricks around the face, you know what I mean? It should be like who connects more to the music, who feels the music more. That's a battle, because you could tell. You could tell somebody who feels music versus somebody who's chasing music. You know what I mean? That's a big difference.
It is, yeah. And like as a dancer, that's always the ultimate goal to me, is like, because you know how you've had sessions, I'm sure, where you know, it's like you're just on another level. You know, you connect, like you were talking about connecting with that rhythm and where it really grabs you. How do you train for that? Like how do you train to be open to that?
You know, I actually do, man. The funny thing is, I always train on my own, to be honest, because when I train with a lot of people, it's like more of a cypher scenario. I like to be in a zone. Like if we training together, I need a lighting, cut off all the lights. It shouldn't even be lit up in the room. There needs to be one light, so you feel like you're just by yourself amongst nothing, and it's just music and you. You know what I'm saying? You connecting with one thing. You know what I mean? So that's how I train. Like if you watch my videos, I'm always like in this, there's a random like lamp somewhere and it's like lit up in the room, and I just connect. I just move. Like I don't think of creating things. I just move for a bit.
You're a house dancer, bro.
Just understand.
You're a straight up house dancer.
Yeah, man.
Because that's a house thing. I mean, and that was the environment too. Like I mean, it's usually at the end of the work week, everyone's tired, you've been stressed, and you know, you've had your mind on all this stuff, and then you go to the club and it's like
unwind.
You know, just unwind is this group of people just like really, you know, connecting like that to the music.
And I find like inspiration for me would come with different things. So if I'm dancing, in my mind I'll be like, okay, how can I take basketball, maybe add that in some moves, but still doing the same move, just doing it different. Now I'm using the same, my hands are giving like more of a flowy aspect as I was playing basketball, or waving, but not like the technical wave, more of like a flowy kind of situation, you know what I'm saying? Like taking concepts, and the more concepts I start to learn, the more I start to understand the dance a bit better, and those would be tricks without making tricks. You know what I mean? As simple as it sounds, it's a concept, and a concept is beautiful because it creates things in your mind, and you're just flowing and creating. You're like, yo, I'm playing basketball, I'm throwing, but then I'm still in the groove. You know what I mean? It's just connected. It's amazing. That's inspiration.
Yeah,
to
like
me.
house to me is like the way I tell some of our students is like we teach you the footwork as sort of the blueprint, but then it's about the storytelling behind it, you know?
Exactly.
And it sounds like that's what you're doing as well. Like you're going into these modes and you're thinking of these scenarios, almost like you're creating these stories with your body. You know? That's amazing.
Like because the layers of the music, when you're dancing in the music, there's sometimes you could control that music, you could slow down that music. So apply it to your footwork. Your footwork doesn't have to be just flowing in the sense of the tone just keeps going like this. If you listen carefully, the music slows down and you could still be on the same tempo, just a little bit slower, you know, controlling that. I feel like you're in the matrix of the song, you know what I mean? You're just grabbing as you're moving, and it's like you have a pot of music and you're just picking, but you're moving and picking. So you're not just picking a song, you're moving and picking, you know, so it flows.
That's dope, bro.
That's the way I see it, brother.
That's what I want you to talk about in our class this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, like, I'm definitely going to get in that.
Yeah, because I think, you know, that brings me to when we're teaching the dance. I mean, so I have all these different opinions about, you know, dance classes and having started late in life taking it seriously. Like I always danced. I started b-boying when I was, you know, 9 years old. So I've been dancing for that long, but I never really took it seriously until I was 25, you know.
Yeah, it's always when you start to understand it better.
Yeah, and I started learning from other people and really going to dance classes, and it's very intimidating when you're starting out with that. And also there's a lot of people I think that are amazing dancers. They want to share their stuff, but the way they're teaching is not necessarily going to be the most conducive to the students really learning
to help
stuff,
them,
you know? And I think we turn a lot of people off in general. And I'm just saying, I'm not me particularly, but all dance teachers, we can be. It's a double-edged sword. We can teach them, but we can also cripple them in the dance.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Because to be honest, when I did, like, I'm doing a camp with Lady T right now.
Okay.
And I'm doing a couple drills on these people, and like they so like they're like, oh my god, what? I can't do this. Like, it's a mental thing because your mind is like, it's giving up. Because it's not understanding, but it's okay. You don't understand it just yet. I always tell them you won't understand right now, but I'm not going to show you how to move because you're going to look like me. I want you to be yourself. I want you to create your own conversation. I'm just giving you, like, it's like, to me, I look at it as like, I give you a pen, I teach you how to write, but we're not going to write the same. I'm just giving you an idea, and you take from that idea. And you take that pen and you write your story. You know what I mean? That's
deep, man.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
That's huge. And also part of being able to do that, though, I mean, there's several different things, but part of it is that becoming a better dancer means understanding that. Because until you understand that, you're not going to be able to make sense of the whole dance.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? You're going to be like, oh, why doesn't it look exactly like how he's doing it? You
exactly.
Know?
Or why don't I look better than this guy? Why does he look better than me? It's like,
or even the same. Like, I'm trying to do this thing. It doesn't look, but that's the beauty of house is everybody's body's different. You know, everybody has different center of gravity and different balance and different experience, and they've done different things in their life. And that's also the beauty of the dance is that when they're trying to do these moves or they're expressing these ideas, it comes out like this beautiful spectrum of stuff, you know? I mean, there's super thin people that move a certain way. Big people can move in a beautiful way, you know? Like, and tall, short, you know, and everyone's got their own little thing. And when you see it working out in a cipher properly, you know, to the best music and everybody's hype, it's like such a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah. And to me, that's now how I look at my childhood, because I had said I had 2 left feet, but I didn't understand what I was doing. I was trying to do things, but it just didn't make sense to me. So in my mind, it was like, oh, I can't move my feet because I have 2 left feet. But it was, I didn't understand what was going on, and I didn't take the time to understand. So I blame something, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Blame, because it's easier to blame than to take time and allow yourself to fail.
Yes.
Because failure is beautiful. Failure is beautiful. I always say failure is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Because you learn from that failure, and that failure is something. That failure is something you grow out of, but that failure is beautiful as well.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? That's how I see it now.
I think as dancers, that's what we have to do. We have to embrace, like, just like shed the ego, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Completely let go of the ego. And until you really let go of that ego and trying to look a certain way, you're just never going to be able to learn anything.
Yeah.
But that's a tough lesson, man.
Oh,
and
it still applies.
You know, and I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people stop dancing too. Yeah. You know, because they'll come to a class, you know, they try it out a little bit, and they're like, I can't really get it 100%. Yeah. And then it's just they land on a bad day, they're tired, they're stressed out. Yeah, go to a class. You know, teacher gets on them and tries to really, the teacher's trying to get them to understand, but to them they take it negative, like, oh, this guy's on my ass and he's like, he's giving me a hard time type of thing, and you never see them again. You know, and that's really sad. Like, I'm careful because I know I've done that to a few people, and I'm like, fuck.
I've lost a lot of students too.
Oh, it's horrible, you know, because you know these people would enjoy it so much in the end. But yeah, that's a real journey. That's something I've never really talked about that with anyone. So that's dope, man.
Yeah, because in the beginning when I first started teaching, I had the same problems of losing students because they always think, yo, he's a tough teacher. He's teaching advanced things. It's so advanced. I'm like, man, it's not advanced. It's advanced to you because you don't understand what's going on and the way your body's supposed to move. You know what I mean? And that I'm giving you the tools to do it on your own, and you're like, why is he doing that? He's not teaching me how I should move. Yes. You know what I mean? So people get turned off so fast from that. But I think it's more about, you gotta, like, at the spot, I always tell my students, I'm like, you might not get it right now, but you will get it later. I was like, don't worry about getting everything today. Worry about getting something that resonates with you. So you take it home. And then tomorrow you might pick up that move. So progress into slowly pick up things one at a time. Don't pick up everything. Even the dancers that pick up everything still don't understand everything they picked up. They just have too much information in their mind. You know what I mean? So I'm like, pick up as much as you can. It's okay. It's a process. You're going to learn. That's why it's a class. You don't come to class to just succeed and think, oh, I learned everything. I'm good now. No, you're not. There's still deeper things you need to understand about what you just learned.
Word, man. And that's also a problem in the school system in general, you know, and like just in life in general. I think we expect that we're going to be good at a certain thing. It's like that concept of embracing failure. I mean, that's huge.
Oh,
you know?
It's crazy.
So how often, like how much do you train? How often do you dance? Let's say in a normal week, how many hours would you spend training, teaching, dancing?
So what I normally do is in my beginning, like maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
But in the beginning, I'll do like just vibe into the song a little bit. Then I'll go through like influence. I'll see how much influence can change one move. So I'll try and stick with one move for a little bit.
Okay.
And use influence to change it a bit, contrast, timing, and just being with the music.
Okay.
And then just overall connection to the song, you know? Yeah, just understanding the way my body moves. So if I'm doing like maybe a jack in the box and using my chest, seeing many ways I can contrast the chest while still just enjoying the music at the same time. Cool. So my mind doesn't wander too far away from that, you know what I mean? Even though I'm technically still training, I think the best way to train is just to understand your body. That's the easiest way. Because our body's connected, even though we connected straight, we can connect side, we can connect side. Our legs are connected like this, but our toe can be this way, our foot can be this way. And it's just an understanding. And then you don't even have to think, you're just connecting, and the way the music makes you connect is just flowing, you know what I mean? Just pick it.
Yeah.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
That's dope.
It's like you understand your body has different connections, different pathways, instead of being one pathway and we centered, now we side. Why can't we use side and center at the same time and connect different to the music using the same movement?
That's dope.
You know,
Variations
so I go through that.
and,
exactly.
Like different modalities within it. That's really cool, man. And so that's how you start out your training session. So then what would you do after? What did you get into?
Oh man, I also spend like hours finding music. I love finding music because when you find gold, you're just like, whoo, I'm ready. I just get excited for my students too. I'm like, yo, I message them. I'm like, hope you guys are ready. I got some new tracks. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Nice. It just inspires you to build, and the more music you have, it's just like, oh man, it's crazy. You just vibe. You're just on the subway. You just like, I'm that guy. Just and I wouldn't even move much. Just like, oh, did you hear that voice? The way that voice prolonged, and then the beat came in the back. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? It just connects with you. And then the more music you find, the more you connect it to different frequencies of music, different understandings of flow of the music, the way it's making you feel. Every music's different, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's African influence, an Afro house to it, or a deep house to it, or soulful house, it's going to connect to me different. Yeah. So it's going to inspire me in many ways. So the more music I find, the more inspired I am.
How much music do you have? Like, how big is your collection?
Man, crazy. Well, I had to reset my collection because I had lost a bit of stuff, but I met up with a guy named Frankie, and he gave me all his tracks. I was like, man, you got some bangers, man, because he had a mix between deep and soul. I was like, I love soul, though. It like connects with me, the music, the way they sound, the way they sing, you know? So like right now I have like about 600-700 songs, but like songs I love. 600-700 songs I connect. Like I one by one found these songs. I went through podcasts of Louis Vega, you know, Anselade. I went through hours. And I picked like 5 good songs in that hour. So I spent 3 hours trying to find 5 songs. 5 songs. But those 5 songs resonate with me the most. Yeah. Because I want something that connects with me, not something that's just hype. I need it to connect with me. So when I teach, I'm in the zone. Like I get so happy when I'm teaching. I just flying, you know what I mean?
To the music.
Just flowing.
That's amazing. So when do you remember listening to house for the first time? Like growing up, what was the music you were listening to? And then when did you start hearing house?
Where growing up, I was listening to more African music, more like
pop music,
and it's
African pop.
You could call it that, yeah, kinda, and a bit of the Afro house as well. Okay. Because the Afro house was popular at the time too. Okay. So it was a mix of that and a mix of what was coming from like the States or Canada. Okay. Because a lot was coming in and a lot of us were trying to go into that because we were like, that's what's in right now, you know? Okay. Like trying to stay with the culture of what's happening outside of our place. But it was more African music. Like I love African music, man. Yeah, it's beautiful. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, so to me, African music is just happy music. It's like, it just makes you happy. That's why it's more of a social thing, because you're just having fun. You're just expressing, you know what I mean? So then I did take class. I got more into house dance. I took class from a filial,
Okay.
You know,
Of course.
like Gadfly Crew, and he was the first guy that got me into house dancing.
Okay.
Because I never even knew there was a style called house dancing. I didn't even know popping, tutting. I was like, what the hell are all these things? I was like, there's so many new things I don't understand. And I went through a whole thing of popping. I was trying to understand it more, but the music didn't resonate with me.
Okay.
So I didn't stay with it as long as I wanted to. I liked R&B more. So if I had a pop, I'd pop to R&B. But I was like, there's no battles with R&B music. They're like, nobody would do that, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I tried some house dance from Affilio, and I was like, man, what is this? Like, the footwork is cool, man.
Yeah.
And then I went through a phase of, this is some cool dancing, like some cool footwork, to, oh man, this dancing is like, it's beautiful. Its influence never stops. It's the way it makes you move never stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So I went through that popularity phase to like understanding and being more of a grown-up in terms of how I see the dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any injuries or anything like that you've had to work
yeah,
through?
man, lots. When I was breaking, when I first got into breaking throughout high school, I braked for 4 years. I injured my arm, man. I couldn't use it, so I was like, man, breaking's not for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do this to myself. And then recently, I was on the Gadfly, and we're doing a theater production for one of their big pieces, an hour show. And then I had my knee had popped out, man.
Man.
6 months I was out.
Oh.
I never appreciated walking more than after that 6 months.
What
I was
was
like,
it? Was it
to be honest, I didn't even get it checked. To be
Okay.
honest. I just know it was my knee, and I couldn't straighten it.
Okay.
I could only keep it in a bent position. And I entered a few battles in a chair. I battled in a chair. I even went on tour in a chair.
Really?
I had to get Sean to do the legs for me, and I was just upper body. But the cool thing about it was, like, even though I still kind of, I'm limited to my knee in the sense that I can't do what I used to do when I was younger, like do all these knee things and these ground moves and all this craziness. But I understand my legs better now. So people look at me, they're like, yo, how are you doing these crazy things? I'm like, I just understand it, and I don't feel that pressure because I have a good connection with my legs now that I never used to have. You know what I mean? Because before I used to like learn all these like cool crazy things that bang on the knee, that kill your knee off. Now I know how to use my knee, and it will look impossible to some, but it's a science. It's a science of me just understanding how to properly shift my feet. How do you know what I'm saying? So now,
I mean, a lot of dancers get injured,
Oh,
right? But
everybody.
I find almost everyone I've talked to who's had an injury, it forces them to think outside the box a little bit, and then they come back as a better dancer later because they're able to understand things more.
Exactly.
But it's tough, man. I mean, what other obstacles would you say that you faced in your journey? Like, obviously there's the money thing, and you're trying to find time for it too as well, like balancing work with are you dancing full-time right now, or are you
I am dancing full-time, but I also work as well.
Okay.
Because even though I dance full-time, I like to do more of a drop-in aspect, that whereas the studio space is more full-time.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm kind of part-time, full-time in the dance. Full-time as I train a lot and I dance for myself, so I call that full-time.
Yeah.
So for myself, it's full-time, but money-wise, it's part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so balancing, like, what are some of the obstacles? Like, do you find it's easy to balance your time in terms of dancing versus working, or how do you find that?
Actually, right now I'm really lucky because I got into the drop-in aspect of dance, which I find I love more because people take your class because they want to learn.
Yes.
So I have a good group of students that they want to be like me, but I always tell them you got to be like yourself. But I have a good group, you know what I mean? From 5 students to 6 students, it doesn't matter. It's a perfect amount of people. And I'm like, that's all I want. And then my classes are usually run at night. So I have the day to do whatever I want. So I do marketing too as well.
Okay.
So brand ambassador, like just talking to people. And I find that helps me teach classes because I learn how to talk better to people.
Yes.
And how to be humble myself and be patient and not rush into like conversations with people, because some people might not get it. So I shouldn't feel like they can't get it and they're not better than someone else. You know what I mean? So it's made me humbler.
Yeah.
But I have more time now, and I could get a substitute if I want to work full time to travel to get more influence for my craft.
Cool.
I have a better chance. Yeah.
Cool. You were talking about you're going with Knox to Summer Dance
Yeah.
Forever.
Oh man,
That's
it's been
gonna
a
be
dream
amazing.
of mine. Ever since I was young, I used to watch Summer Dance, watch the Serial Steppers, and I always wanted to be like them. And then watching a bit more other dancers now, it's like I just want to connect.
Yeah.
I just want to share. I just want to touch. I just want to touch that floor, man.
Yeah.
I want to picture me touching that floor. That's all I want. Just to see where all these dancers took their craft to that beauty. And I want to see the other dancers as well, because I just want to see the people that are on the videos. I want to see the rest of the people and their struggles and seeing how they overcoming it in that moment. You know what I mean? It's all about that moment right there. And to me, that's the beauty of it. There's other people you don't know, that might be so dope, and they might have a story on their own, and you're watching them, you're like, man, look at the story he's telling. It's influencing me so different. It's making me see things so different. I want that. I want to see things different. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Oh, you will, man. You're gonna enjoy that. Have you been to Europe before?
No.
Okay. Wow.
No,
so that's gonna be Europe, and then on top of it, the amazing place that you're going
Crazy.
to. Right? So,
and it's 10 days.
Amsterdam is heavy. Like of all the cities, I haven't been to Berlin, so I mean, I hear Berlin's really crazy as well with the clubs.
And France too, right?
Paris is amazing. Yeah. Like I mean, I've hung out there a lot.
Man.
Yeah. So
I heard about that spot.
But Paris is crazy. But in terms of the amount of dancers, the Amsterdam to me is the place that has the most. I mean, we were floored. We went for Amsterdam dance event in I think it was 2000 and was it 2011? I think it was. And we were floored, man. Like there are huge clubs because obviously Amsterdam's a party city because they got legal marijuana and the prostitution and stuff. So a bit of a seedy side to it as well. But they have clubs, like big clubs. I'm talking 1,000, 2,000 person clubs.
Crazy.
And like we were floored. We're just like, what is this place? And every jam we went to, it was like the sickest music. I actually saw Louis Vega playing with Bodhisattva.
Wow, they're my two favorites.
Man. And I saw them playing together, and it was this crew of dancers. We linked up with the Moyo tribe guys, and a bunch of amazing dancers that we ended up. Esteca Noya, do you know him? He's one of the big dancers there.
Wow. And
Leandro and there's like a bunch of amazing dancers there, and like I'm talking like 20 or 30 other house dancers showed up, and it was a cipher, bro. It was crazy. So to me, like Amsterdam is the place to go if you're gonna house in Europe. You got to go to Amsterdam.
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna enjoy it then.
And then on top of it, because all the other dancers from the other places are gonna go there for a summer dance, right? So you're gonna be like
overwhelmed. I'm just gonna come. That's why I bought a GoPro, man. I'm filming everything. I need to rewatch it like 6 times to understand what the hell just happened.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I mean, that's another thing too. Like in terms of a question I wanted to ask you, in terms of keeping like your like, do you have a catalog of your moves and things that you do? Do you categorize it like that, or do you have like footage that you use for training with, or do you film yourself? How do you use the technology to
apply to my dance?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm old school. I use a book.
Okay, you have a book.
A book is key to me.
Yeah.
So what I first do, my first page of the book is I'll write down all the foundation.
Yeah.
So I have like at least 50 foundations that I can remember in my mind, because it goes beyond that, you know what I mean? Okay. And there's so much more to learn.
You talking house foundation or
house
just
foundation?
Okay.
House foundation. So bam, 50 moves. House foundation. Next page. Concepts. How can I change up the moves? So if I just read a concept, basketball, okay, bam, gliding, bam, waving, bam, just dance, and then the concept's easy to apply because it's something that I naturally do. It's a real life concept, you know what I mean? So I take those concepts, apply to each different move. So you take one move out of those 50 moves, everybody gets a chance to understand the concept. So then you see what resonates better with the certain move, you know what I mean?
And with the music too.
Exactly. Then page 3, textures. How can I slow the music? How can I slow the music down while controlling it with my movement? You know what I mean? How can I make the movement bigger but not seem bigger? You know what I mean? So texture, contrast, levels. You know what I mean? And levels is big. And then there's so many more pages. You know what I mean? It just keeps going. But in that sense, that's how I just build a vocabulary of understanding. Because to me, it's like it's harder to remember so many things, and you don't want to. You just wanna remember what influenced that movement. Where soccer would be like a bouncing, so you could hit like the hi-hats just with like a soccer move and just like balancing a ball around. You know what I mean? Like it's so simple in your mind. You're just like soccer. You know what I'm saying? You could do foot tricks. You could do like balancing. It's simple.
That's dope.
Just writing it down in that sense. That's how I do it.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. Like we'll play a game where now you can only use your right arm, or you know, or you're wearing magnets on your feet and there's like steel on the floor and you gotta like pull off the magnets off the floor, or like you're swimming, you're in water, you know, and it just forces you to completely think of the dance in a different way, right? Yeah. Explore a different aspect of it.
It's really funny because when I was young and I used to teach in dance studios, I would like, that's why studios hated me, because I would spend more time training than choreography, because when choreography came around, they'd be like, oh, they're so behind. I was like, man, I was training these kids. These kids are dope. You know what I mean? I would take those concepts that you're telling me right now. So I would do a couple concepts. So like, I do like an X concept, not an X, maybe like a plus concept right here. So your feet can hit different points. Okay. And you could double point it here. Or I'll do like, we form a circle, and one person dances in the circle, and then you hit a pose, that person has to dance in the pose, dance out of the pose,
That's
and
cool.
like continue. So you could be on the floor like this, they gotta have like connect into the floor, get back up, and you couldn't move unless the person hit that pose.
That's cool, man.
So it explores different movement too.
Yeah.
Or like touching points.
Yeah. You're making it like a game almost, and
Yeah.
it's forcing you to apply creativity in a different way, right?
Exactly.
That's really dope, man.
Creativity in the sense that you're using your body different than you normally would, and going out of a uncomfortable zone and trying to be comfortable in it. Because really uncomfortable is a mind thing. You're only uncomfortable because you think you're uncomfortable. You're really not uncomfortable. You're just moving.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So to people, they're like, oh my God, this doesn't make sense, or it doesn't look good. That's why saying error is better than trying to find the answer. Because when you're trying to find the answer, you're trying to perfect yourself, whereas the error is what's natural, what's raw in the moment.
Yes.
That's the beauty of the dance, is the error, not the understanding of the error, instead of like the understanding of how I can look better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to dance with some guys. We used to call it crash and create.
Oh yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's like you crash and you create this amazing
That's
thing.
what I
out of
try to
it,
tell
you
my
know?
students, because I do intro right now, and I'm like, yo, if you guys make an error, don't. Just remember it. Don't
Embrace
lose
it.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. And they're like,
cool.
no, what are you talking about? I was like, it's going to make sense later. Trust me.
Yeah, this random thing that happens, but then you like
Yeah.
catch it and turn it
Yeah,
into something
exactly.
different. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
And as you've gotten older, do you find like your relationship to dance has changed?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was like, back in the day, man, I was so about the popularity concert. I always left a battle. Either I left a battle happy because we won, or I left a battle mad at myself. Like super mad at myself and like putting myself down because I lost. Or if I didn't make a prelim, I'd be like, come on, man, like I know I'm better than that. I know I'm better than that guy. And then as I got older, I was like, why am I doing that, man? Why am I putting myself down every time and thinking I'm getting better because I won or because I made a prelim? In my mind, I think I did better, but did I really do better? I should be more dance, and if I'm happy about my round, I'm happy about what I portrayed in that, and that everybody understood. Whereas they're just like, yo, man, you were in that music, you were in that song. It's not like, oh man, you did some cool shit. Nah, man, you were in that song, man. You were vibing.
So
You
you're
know what I mean?
seeing the
That's what I wanna
connection to the
get.
music as more important than the
Yeah.
actual performance of the dance.
I think as I got older, and I went through a lot of phases, man. Like I went through a phase of like learning all these shoe tricks, learning all these foot tricks, and I was like, man. And as when I met Frankie is the guy. That's why I say he changed my life. Because when I met him, he's like, yo, stop for a second, man. Even Link stopped me. He's like, yo, just vibe, man. Just pick out the music as if it's in front of you, like as if you're floating and there's musical keys in front of you, you know, and you just picking as you're going, you know what I mean? Because you're understanding it more as you go, and you're listening a little bit different, you know what I mean? So you could be listening to one thing, but your ears catching another thing. So you're like, I'm gonna catch that move. Where's he going? Catch that move later. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
dope,
what do people say? It's what is see the dance, hear the music.
Yes, yeah.
That's the quote. That quote I'm trying to keep now, and pushing it further now. And I've only been saying in the last 2 years, that's what I've been carrying with me is that, and it's changed me so much now. And people are like, yo, this guy connects to the music more now. He's enjoying what he does. And I think it's changed me in that sense.
Your enjoyment of the music, like, was it always the same for you when you started out? Like that you know, that drive, like the music making you dance, was it always the same?
To be
Or
honest,
has it
I
changed?
never really listened to house music. I listened to more old school hip hop and R&B, because R&B I find moved me more. I didn't really know about house music because the only thing I heard about house was like club house. It was like more techno, like deep techno, and people were doing like this Running Man was like a Seawalk kind of thing. And like I was like, what is that, man? It's not moving me. It's like a same beat. There's no textures, no layers, the voice is like, it's just like a background. The voice is a background to me because it's just heavy. It's so heavy that you don't feel from it. You can't grab from it. Maybe some people can, but they connected to it better than I am. I wasn't connected to it, so I couldn't grab from it until I heard house. And when I got into soulful vocal house, I was like, man, the music, the voices, the layering, everything is layered different.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I could just listen to it in my mind right now. You see, when I talk about it, I just zone out, and I'm like, I'm thinking of the song I was just listening to earlier, and I'm like, it's just there. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's hard to describe, to be honest. But it's
I
deep.
know, man, because I've been chasing the same
Yeah.
music for so long, you
It's
know.
deep,
So,
man.
and I think the beautiful thing about, you know, Afro house, whatever. I mean, this type of music that we listen to is that it's rooted in tradition. You know,
100%.
a lot of this stuff. These are old songs, old rhythmic patterns. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the rhythms have been around. Who knows how long? Thousands of
man.
years, probably.
Beyond,
you know.
beyond.
And then there's just this is just today's reinvention of it. But
Exactly.
you know, this stuff was going on hundreds of years ago. They were playing it
Yeah.
probably around a campfire. You
Yeah.
know? And it was like just acoustically being played. But yeah, some of those rhythms are a gift, you know. Like it's a beautiful legacy of music that we've been handed down, 100%. And that's what I love about Ocean Lade and you know, Bodhi and all these guys. I mean, the deep, you know. I mean, Bodhi calls it an ancestral soul, you know. I mean, that's to me, like, you know, that's what it is. You know, it's this old music that's being passed on to us, you know. And we're just the freshest kids right now doing all freshest,
we're lucky.
You know, 41. But I mean, you know what I mean? We're just this generation, but it's going to be around forever, I think. It's been around forever and it's going to be around.
Yeah, those boiler room sets, man.
Oh, man.
I need to go to one of those.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I always watch them. I'm like, man, if I was that person in there, I'd be sweating buckets, man. I need buckets. Crazy.
So you mentioned to me last time, it was a couple years ago there, you mentioned that you guys were staying, it was you and a bunch of the MoonRunners guys, and you were all living in one little house type thing, and you were sessioning together and all that. So I mean, I understand that's now come to an end, but can you talk about that? Like all of you guys living together and training and stuff?
Man, I'm going to tell you one thing. The cool thing about my crew is we all see dance different, and that has helped me more than ever. And I'm lucky I have my crew. I honestly love my crew, and they're my heart and soul. But they have changed the way I see everything. Like even Sean with his gliding and stuff. He's like, my crew used to be like, apply it into your dance. So you should still be able to move to our music, but your dance. You know what I'm saying? Apply, even if you're tutting, if you're popping, apply it to your style. You know what I mean? So it's helped me, and they always like, yo Raoul, I know you can tut. I want to see you tut right now. I'm like, man, I don't tut. They're like, just try, man, just try. You know what I mean? And they always force me to go out of my comfort zone. And even if I fail, they're like, yo, you can do it, man. I know you can. So we push each other in that sense. You know what I mean? And every time I always tell the guys, I'm like, whereas if I'm learning something new, I'm like, yo guys, I'm about to change it up. I'm about to learn something. You know, I just want to be a student. They're like, yo, do it, man. Do it. And they're like, yo, or they're like, let's meet up. Let's just get down. Let's just exchange. You know, we all exchanging a different thing, but we all picking from that thing, even though we all different. Like some of the guys are poppers, some of the guys are hip hop, some breaking, and Sean and Connects who are doing more of the light turfing and flexing styles, which is cool. So it's opening my eyes to like a whole new vocabulary I didn't know of, and it's in my circle, which is the cool thing.
That's amazing.
So they share with me and they teach me. I'm like, yo, teach me that, bro. I just want to understand it a bit better. And then I take from it. It's beautiful. That's why I'm truly blessed to have a good crew.
That's an amazing
resource. We've been family before dancers, because we were never always dancers that understood the dance. We were just friends. Like when me and Sean met up, we were just friends. We were just friends that forgot our passport, and he was also coming out of a bad era in his life too. Who knew that we'd still be better dancers mentally before we were friends? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's dope, man. And so what's your relationship like with these guys? Like you hang out sometimes just outside of dance?
All the time. I only have them as my friends, to be honest.
Okay.
I had like high school, I was the most popular guy. I had like the whole school, like I have like 5,000 friends on Facebook. Like my whole high school, high school I performed at, I have everybody.
Okay.
And then afterwards I was suddenly like, yo, it's the people that stick to you. So my boys, we drink together. Like they people I can dance with, they can motivate me, but they're also people I can have fun with. And that I could enjoy life experiences, share life experiences with them. So to me, it's not just about the dance. It's about it's a whole thing. It's a whole full body like understanding. Like, yo, they make me feel good. They make me feel happy. These are the boys I want to always be around, because they also inspire me. I always want to be inspired. And then my crewmates, they're my boys. They're my family. You know what I'm saying? They're just cool dudes. You know.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're in a good place with them.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty cool.
We've been together about 7 years now.
Okay.
So it's like it's been a deep 7 years, and I think I've seen like them every day for like 7 years.
Wow.
If I wasn't working, I'd come see them after. They'd be like, yo, I haven't seen you in a long time. Let's just at least get a drink and talk. I'm like, that's beautiful, man. I'm down.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot, yeah.
You also mentioned at one point earlier, you're talking about dancing in the dark, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, this is like because I'm coming from the background of music more and being a drummer, a percussionist, right? And so to me, there's these two different sides of the dance, where one side of it is the rhythmic side, and then the other side is the visual art kind of side, you know? So to me, it's almost like dance is this schizophrenic thing where there's like there's two aspects to it. You know, there's dancing on beat. You're talking about slowing down the beat a lot. You know, that's really fascinating to me, because I mean, obviously you're not slowing down the beat. You're creating an effect where it feels like you're doing that, right? So how do you see the dance? Like, how do you see rhythm versus the visual art aspect of it? Like, what are the ingredients to you, and how do they mix together?
To me, they both connect very well. And the reason I do like dimmer places is because when you have open places, I find that you're looking for things. When you have open places, let's say I'm dancing, I'll see this camera or I'll see that chair. My mind is not focused on one thing, which would be the music only. I have a chair in front of me, you know what I'm saying? So I could zone out to the point where I can blank everything out. But why not take away that sense, the sense of sight, and just have the sense of hearing?
Yeah.
Because that's more powerful. It's like a blind person can hear better than a person with both senses, because that sense is taken away. So I apply that to dance. And visually, when that sense is taken away, you don't have a visual aspect because you can't see what you're doing. You're just moving. You also have a rhythmic, is that what you were saying?
Rhythmic,
a rhythmic attitude towards the dance, because you basically are the instrument of the dance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it applies in that sense. You're visual, you're doing something visual you don't know, but you are doing something, you know what I mean? But
so is that a more pure expression, you think, of the dance and where it comes from inside?
I find it is. I find it really is. I like more of the music. If the music has so many layers, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful because it's making me express so many things in one time. You know what I mean? In one moment. Whereas visually, I don't want to look to make myself think I look good. I just want to make myself think I just like to move onto this music.
Yeah, you're in the pocket.
Exactly.
You're like fully in the beat and grabbing it. I feel like that all the time too, man. And I mean, my first experiences with house dancing was in clubs where it was like really dark.
Exactly.
A ton of people all around, you know.
Limited
and it wasn't
space.
necessarily a show, you know. And so to me, like studying it now and in the last 10 years, really, you know, learning the dance as a dance form, an isolated dance form apart from the club, it's a totally different thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's a kind of a double-edged sword too, where that can also turn people off of it. You know?
Oh yeah.
People who might have a really good time in a dark club with a bunch of friends, having drinks, listening to music really loud. You put them in a dance class, and it's like. You know, bright lights, mirrors, you know?
Yeah.
Like, nothing kills a party faster than mirrors.
I hate mirrors, man.
Well, I mean, we hate them and we love them too as dancers, right? Because they're the ultimate tool.
Yeah, for everybody else learning, they need a mirror.
Yeah.
To fully understand our body, because otherwise they just sing our back.
Yeah.
They're not seeing like a full expression.
Yeah, and themselves too, and it helps you to line yourself up, and you know, you're trying to make the image in the mirror look good. So the only way to do that is to make yourself.
So it both applies,
proper, right?
I mean, they both apply,
But for a party, man, it kills it. I used to DJ at this club, and for a while they had mirrors there, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Come on, man.
The vibe changed completely when they put the mirrors up. You could see people walking in; they're super self-conscious, and nobody was having a good time. Everyone would be like on the other side, as far from the mirrors as possible.
Someone's like, "Look at that sweat stain, brother! It's big. No girl's gonna want me in here." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It comes too much of a mental thing, man, and that's why I said when you have too many things in front of you, your mind automatically, even though you're zoned, your mind will switch to that, because consciously we're still not at that aspect where we could be in one place. We still have a mental capacity of analyzing things and seeing things in front of us.
Yeah.
We're not able to just blank out. You could blank out, but you're still gonna see things in front of you, you know what I mean? As you're transitioning through things, you're still gonna notice things. Your mind always picks up things, even though you're still zoned, you're picking up things. Why not pick up just music?
Yeah, man.
That's why I cut everything, just that's the only thing you have.
Yeah.
You don't have, oh my god, I have a random hot stain on my shirt. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what I have. I'll check after, and maybe I'll do like laundry like times 3, but I won't know till after. And that's the beauty of it. You just feel good. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So what are some of the life lessons that you've learned through dancing? What are some of the lessons that dance has taught you?
Respect everybody. I find you need to you need to show a lot of respect to other people, even if they're going through a phase where they don't necessarily understand the dance as well. Like they more for popularity. I still respect them. I respect where they're going with it, because it's really what makes them happy. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that because it makes them happy, and if they're doing it for a good reason, I try to apply it. And always to humble yourself. Humble yourself as in no one's better than you. You're not better than anyone. We all different beings, and we all understand things different. So we shouldn't see anyone as better than anyone. Or like, okay, this guy he's just the best dancer in the world. There's no such thing, man. Yeah. You know, there's no such thing as the best dancer in the world. There's such thing as the guy who understands everything a little bit more than another guy just because he has more experience. But that's about it. You know what I'm saying? There's no best dancer. It's just being humble about it, and being humble and accepting yourself. accepting yourself is another thing. I've learned to accept myself because I used to watch a lot of my videos and be like, yo man, that leg should have been a bit further out, that leg should have been in, why isn't it in, it should have been pointed out a bit more, you know?
Yeah.
It's like acceptance is like, what I'm doing is it's making me feel good.
Yes.
Why am I seeing it as it needs to be done a different way when in that moment it was beautiful, it was done the right way. I shouldn't have had to think about changing it, you know what I mean? So acceptance and all that just makes you feel overall just feeling better about yourself. Just feeling happy and knowing what you did was beautiful to yourself, not to the people that are watching, to yourself, because that at the end of the day that's all that matters, right? Is how you feel after what you just did. You want to feel like you did something, you know what I mean?
When you're dancing, do you feel like whatever is going through your mind comes out of your dance? Because I mean, I feel like I can't even think something without it coming out in my dance. You know, like if whatever thoughts I'm having, I feel like they just come straight out of my dance, and everybody can see it. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what do you think when you dance? Are you really just trying to connect to the beat the way that we talked about? What are the thought processes that you're going through when you dance?
It's blank, man.
Really?
Blank, to be honest. And the funny thing is, it's blank as when you finish, you're like, what did I just do? But in the moment, things are there. In the moment, your mind is like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. And you're like doing so many things. But afterwards, it's like, wasn't I thinking of so many things? You know what I mean?
When you watch it again, do you get those thoughts again when you're watching yourself dance?
When I watch it, I'm like, man, I like that, man. I like the way I just connected. Like, I didn't even understand what I just did there. And like, I can't relearn it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's tough to relearn it. I'm like, it happened in the moment. It's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Though.
Yeah.
It's like you're becoming a channel almost.
Yeah.
And you're letting things through.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's how I see it. You're a channel. Basically, in the moment, you have control. Afterwards, you let it all out. You're like, wow. You know what I mean? What the hell just happened? You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy to know that in that moment, you have so much control. It's like it's moving so slow and you have time, but yet you don't have time. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's weird because in that moment, you have a billion channels and you have so many remotes and you're just like, I'm just clicking through these remotes. You know what I'm saying? At the end, you're like, one remote, what the hell? You see what I'm saying?
Wow,
if that makes any sense, that's the best way I would describe it.
Yeah, it's like a world of infinite possibilities, and
exactly.
you're like going through, but you're not 100% in control either.
Exactly.
Right? Like there's this other thing that's happening. You
yeah.
know? Like I feel like that way with music as well as with dance is often like, I mean, we could prepare ourselves. Yeah. You know, for the experience.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But when you go into it,
that moment changes.
Sort of unexpected. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So if you could go back right now and you could see yourself 10 years ago, let's say.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so you imagine yourself 17. What would you want to say to yourself?
Man. Oh man, when I was 17, I was a bad kid, man. Oh man. I would have definitely told myself to accept myself because I was very hard on myself at 17. I was very, very hard on myself. And I think that's what made me go a different route as the route I was doing when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, you had to humble yourself because you had no choice to. We didn't have all the resources I have when I came here. Like for bread, we had to give out like bottles. We had to take bottles to the grocery store just to get bread back. And that would humble me because I knew I didn't have everything. And the guy next to me didn't have everything as well. We had to share in that moment. And it was a lot about being with family. So I wish I kept applying that when I got here. Because when I got here, it's like I was the guy with the accent. I was the guy that could dance. So I automatically became popular. In my mind, I was better than everybody. So I wish I just humbled myself and kept how I was back home here. You know what I mean? Because that can change you so quick. And you're so young, you don't understand what's going on. But a lot of attention's coming to you. You know what I mean? So I would just say humble myself. Humble my younger self. And learn to respect other people. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. And where do you see yourself going with it in the next little while? Like,
to be honest, I just want to travel and just learn. Learning is key to me because then it helps me express for myself better. You know what I mean? The more better I understand my feet, my body, it's going to help me. And then hopefully I can pass it to someone else, you know? Yeah. I want to share with people. I love teaching because the conversation is beautiful. I love seeing people smile when they dance because it makes me happy. You know, that's why I love to teach today. Because every time my students always come up to me, they're like, man, you make me feel better. I was having a bad day. I was like, man, to me, that's exactly why I love to teach. Because I didn't used to love to teach. I was going to quit dancing after teaching.
Really?
Because I was going through a phase of just making choreography, making mixes. It all became a system. And I wasn't progressing. I was making money, but I wasn't progressing. I was stuck in the system of just like, okay, continuous making this choreography. Oh, we're not winning awards, blah, blah, blah. Parents are shouting at me. Kids are not doing well, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it takes you away from the dance because you're like, oh, dance is just like, it's too much stress, you know? But dance is not stressful. Why is it so much stress? And that's why I was saying the aspect of drop-ins versus studio is what changed me. Okay. So when I left studio, I got into drop-ins, and Fly Lady Di is the one that hooked me up. She's like, yo, can you sub a couple of my classes? And I was still new. And I was like, yo, I'm down. And then I started to connect with people better. And I didn't understand, like, fully connecting how much, how can I put it? It's like, you're such a big role to people. Just being the guy to speak in a room, that's major. Because you are a bigger voice than the people learning. So I started understanding that what I'm saying to these people reflects their life. Yes. It's going to affect them. So I started learning how to speak better. You know what I mean? And it's affected my normal life, because in the job I work in, I speak humbly to people. I respect people. Even if you're doing something wrong, I respect where it came from. I'll try to guide you in a better way. I mean, I can't guide everybody, and everybody still has their own mindset, and they will learn later. But I mean, at least I can try from the understanding I have, and hopefully it applies to you later on. Even if it's not now, later on it might come back and resonate with you.
What you mentioned some of the teachers that you've had. I mean, obviously you teach, but you also enjoyed taking classes. And so, what are some of the teachers that you've really enjoyed learning from?
At the moment, Ophelia was really good to learn from a long time ago, and then I still didn't really think about taking classes because I was still in that young like popularity phase thing. So I was always like, man, he really taught me I could learn this on my own. I could learn this, I could study. So I just studied YouTube, like every OG, Khalif, everyone. I watched their documentaries, you know, the old school hip hop documentary with the house and the hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Studied the hell out of that. I was like, I could do this, you know. Yeah. And then I met the Warehouse Jacks. We had sessions every Monday. Yeah. So that helped a lot about training and stuff too. So it wasn't really teachers, it was people around me teaching me. So it was a conversation that I could see and try to understand on my own, which is good because then I got to learn it progressively instead of somebody showing me how to do it. I got to fail through it. And because I failed, I understand how to talk more about it. Yeah. And my failure made me a better person. So I'm glad I got to go through that instead of just passing that and succeeding. Yeah. I wanted that failure to change me as a person. You know what I mean? So to me, it was a lot of people around me. And now I take classes. I just started taking tap classes. Okay. Just because I want to understand how they rhythmically able to make different music within the music.
Oh yeah. And tap is a huge influence
crazy.
in house in
exactly.
general, right?
Exactly. I did some salsa just to understand like the way they control their body, and then their hands are still in a stable position controlling somebody else. So it's not about yourself anymore. Yeah. You have somebody else with you. So I'm taking these other classes just to understand how it can influence my style a little bit more.
You were talking to me about you did a show where you had to do a lot of jazz training as well, right?
Vernacular jazz, yeah.
And you enjoyed that as well?
That was crazy. I enjoyed it, but I could tell you in the beginning, it was for all of us. And we've been training long, you know? Yeah. And we've been in 3 hours of vernacular jazz. And it was like the clapping was like on a different count. Like you wouldn't clap with a normal clap. You would clap on the bass or the hi-hats. You wouldn't clap. You clap like a little bit in between. Yeah. And you're like, why am I clapping on a 3? Or why am I landing on a 3? What is this? You know what I mean? It's cool though, because it makes you understand counts differently. Yeah. And the way they perceive counts. It's cool.
Yeah. Sarah and I took a little bit of jazz with
you did?
We had a teacher here. And we went for a couple of years at first. They had a weekly class, and it's fantastic.
Right?
Jazz is beautiful. Yeah. It's amazing. And some of those basics also. I mean, a lot of the jazz, like a lot of the, you know, the bigger dancers in New York that really built the house look, you know, like the real look of the dance. A lot of them were Broadway dancers as well.
Oh,
so, I mean, they brought a lot of that jazz perspective into it as well.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Have you been to New York?
I have. Yeah. That's why I met Bravo actually.
Okay, perfect.
And Bravo was the guy that stood out to me the most, like as a judge wise, because I was in a battle. Okay. And this is me younger too. I was battling Rice Ball.
I don't know.
Rice Ball is like, he's from, where's he from? I think he's from New York, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really dope. He's really dope house dancer. And Bravo was on the table like this the whole time. I'm like, I had to stop. I'm like, who's this judge? And I was like, and people were filming Bravo instead of us. I was like, this guy's killing it more than us right now.
He's amazing.
I was like, Bravo, man, wow. And he's like, man. He said it because people were like, yo, Bravo, how come you dancing so much and you're judging, like, because judges usually they have this look, you know, like, I did something wrong there. You know what I'm saying? Bravo was just like, and he's like to us, man, there's music playing. You expect me not to move?
Yeah, exactly.
He said that. I was like, wow, man, this guy's mad cool, man.
He's something else.
Yeah, he was the coolest guy I ever met.
I mean, he had us over with his family for what's the American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We got to meet his whole family, and he is crazy, man. He was so hyped the whole time. The music comes on, and this guy, you cannot stop him from dancing. Hey? He's an amazing force of nature. You know?
Yeah.
And just a repository of knowledge. Like he's like an encyclopedia of
honestly,
dance
he's
and
been
music.
Through a lot, right?
He's seen the whole scene, you know, and like these guys work, you know. Like I mean, he had a full-on career as an architect as well.
Oh, wow.
And at the same time, every night he was going out dancing, and like you know, he lives and breathes that culture. You know, he's a real ambassador of the culture. Definitely encourage you to, if you ever want to go down there. And
I gotta connect with him.
He's got a house, him and Archie Burnett.
Oh yeah.
They have a house in Brooklyn where they have dancers come over, and there's about, you know, it's got to be at least 10 or 20 rooms in that house. It's a huge house.
Done.
And it's all dancers that go there.
Done.
And he'll just give you the tour of the city and like really school you.
I'm coming, brother. I'm coming.
Yeah,
honestly, I was, because I wanted to go back to the birthplace, to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly wanted to go there. So like next year, I'm planning on taking a few months to just go and learn. I just want to be a student.
Go
in
take
the form.
Tone McGregor's class.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Sekou.
Khalif, Tony. I've been already talking to them, and I'm already planning that.
It's amazing to get to learn the dance from these guys. You know, that's one thing. Like I find too with Sarah, we talk a lot about how often we'll be dancing, and you get into that crazy zone like you're talking about, where you could be dancing in the dark. It's not even really about the visual aspect of it. It's about your connection to the music, and often the movements that come out, you know, we have these teachers in us now, you know, they're like part of us, you know, part of our soul, and it comes out in your dance, and it's just like, you know, it's such a rich cultural experience to have all this stuff, this background that you've learned, and then for it to become part of you, you know. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's amazing.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and you're going to do that for these students this afternoon, because 4 o'clock you're going to teach our class. So
man.
I can hear my kids are waking up upstairs. So basically, man, thanks a lot for coming and doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time. And so if people want to connect with you, Facebook, you got too many friends already on Facebook.
No, I can add a few more. You got to be special, people. You gotta be special.
But is that the best way to follow you? Like if they just follow you on Facebook, or is there a website or something?
Facebook, I have Instagram as well.
Okay.
But Facebook, if you want to connect and talk to me, I would say that's the best place.
And you're Raoul Wilke, and we'll write it down in the show description.
Yes, Raoul Wilke, and on Instagram I'm Raoul Wilke as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So, man, thank you very much for coming in.
Brother.
And I wish you the best.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.